Hello everyone, in our today's build we're gonna create that Badger e-commerce website. Here as you can see we have a little bit a slider banner is rotating over here, and then we have that product option over here. Now as you hover you can be available that add a product card button over here. As you see, click on that, the product is added and you can add it as much as possible you want, and also you're gonna get a Tostify where it said that with the title that product is added. And also you can make another thing. If you just click on that image you will go with another tab which is coming with that ID, product ID, that is a details view you can actually see over here. And now from here also what you can see, you can just add a little bit more product and then add to cart, the product is added. So now from here we can go proceed to checkout, which we're gonna use the Stripe. And of course before describing much further, let's go and start spinning our application for today. I'm gonna just opening my folder where I will create that npx create react app. I'm gonna use the client name because I'm also gonna create the server for that React Stripe checkout token. Now as you see, while it is spinning in the cart page, actually from here you can remove that product or you can reset the cart, it will remove entire product. Now here you can go back to shopping over here and let's add more products because now we're gonna create a payment checkout. Also from here let's click on. Now as you see we have products in our cart, so we want to make the payment, but how we'll do it? Let's go and proceed to checkout, but we are getting an error. It's showing please sign in to checkout. So we need to make sign in before we purchase anything, and to sign in let's go to our logo icon. And now here there is a two option, either you can sign in with Google or you can sign in with GitHub. I'll just choose the Google, and that one is happening with the Google Firebase authentication. So I will choose my account whichever I want to log in. And now as you see, as I log in I am having my image and also I am having my name available over here. So let's click on my here in that card, and now I can go through proceed to checkout. When I click, now it's showing pay to Badger, so I can pay right now. And now I'm gonna just go through my default Stripe card, and it will be 12 and 34 CVC 123. So now it's 380.99 and I'm going to pay. So let's click, and as you see the payment is successful. And if I go through my Stripe payments option over here, I think that will be available right now. As you see, that's the payment I made, that's the email I have been chosen over here, that is my email, and that is the time. I am also, if you just click on over here you can see all the more details you require. So that's the way actually we can make the Stripe payment authentication. And as you see, those all the setup we're gonna create from the beginning. So let's just close all the tab. So you're gonna create it. As you see our page is spinning, I think it's done. So let's just go and start in our code editor. Just let me go and grab it over here. Now that is our today's editor over here. We're gonna start building on it. So let's go and open another git bash. Now this is our client, so in here we will make our client side page, all the page it will be here. So first of all, it's better, it will be a good procedure to let you know what kind of things we're gonna use in our entire build if you just want to know. So first of all, if I just make it scroll and just giving you idea what is gonna be in our entire build, we're gonna use that I think a redux toolkit to managing our store, and also we're gonna use that Google Firebase to create our user authentication, and also we're gonna use React Router DOM to making all the routing setup over here, and also we will use the React Stripe checkout to make our payment authentication, and we will use also Axios, because as you know, we're gonna have a backend from where we're gonna get the token, and also in the backend we're gonna use the Express. Beside that, we also gonna use the Tailwind CSS to make our designing pattern and everything, and also we're gonna use that React icons and also React-tostify and so on. There will be lots of other things, but those things are important to know, so those are the tech we're gonna use. So stay with me to understand how easily we can use that one. So first of all, we're gonna just clear our application. So I'm just gonna remove whatever things I'm not required for that application. So I have one app.js, index.css and index.js. In the app.js, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just remove other things which is not necessary. Let's put an h1 tag. Oops, it should be in smaller letter. Yeah, h1 tag, and that will be Badger e-commerce. Let's save it from here, and also I'm gonna just import React from React. Now it's time to just set up our Tailwind CSS. I can actually spin the application right now. I'm not gonna do it. Better to start it when I'm setting up that Tailwind CSS. So let's go to in a quick way. I'm gonna go in framework guide, and it will be for that npx one. So we need to install that one, and by default, as you see, we are in the client like in the main directory. So we need to make cd in the client directory, and here we're gonna install that one. So the client like the Tailwind CSS, as you see in the dev dependency, is available. And also we need to make that npx Tailwind CSS init to having a Tailwind config file, config.js file. And now after that, we need to actually add that line in that which is giving the authentication, like here in the content. Now Tailwind can go through inside the source directory whatever is happening, all the directory in including the JS, JSX, TX or TSX. I'm not gonna use that TSX because TypeScript I'm not gonna using for that application. And also this portion I need to keep in my index.css file. So I'm gonna remove the previous everything, and now it's available to work, and now I can run. So first of all, let's just go little bit giving a class name, just text red 600 to let's see if Tailwind CSS is working or not. So after that, let's go and npm start. So now we're gonna start everything to spinning the app. So I'm gonna take another terminal for our build, and also in here I'm gonna go inside the client. So as you see, let's spinning that one. So first of all, let's see what we're gonna build first. First, what we need to do, actually we need to build that header, okay? And that header has a two option. One will be the image portion, and another is other all the items, and of course it will be and justify between. So giving a little bit hit. We have something more to set up, because index.js, that report vitals, which I'm not gonna use, and I'm not gonna use the strict mode because I'm gonna use that Stripe checkout payment. So as I save, I believe it will be work just fine. As you see, Badger e-commerce available, and the Tailwind is working just fine. And for Tailwind CSS, because as you see, whenever I am typing, like if I make that text Excel, you see there is utility is giving me a pop-up what it can be. So it's very helpful whenever you are building your application with Tailwind. And to make the things run, what you need to do, you need to install in your extension, you need to install that one for, I think, that Tailwind, yes, Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. You install that one, it will go start giving a pop-up. And also you better use the PTR, because to make your code looks much better. And also don't forget to use that ES7 snippet, because later on I will show you how it can really be helpful whenever you are creating another component. So first of all, let's drag it a little bit smaller. Yes, now it's smaller. So now first in the source folder, I'm gonna create some of the, like, go over here. I believe is, yeah, we are in this, like, let's cd source folder. Now in source folder we will make several directories, mkdir to make directory, and here first we will be use the components to keep all the components, and also we will create the pages and assets for all our assets, and also we will create another folder which will contain our API, whatever API we're gonna create. So these 4 directories is available over here. So now let's begin to create our first one, which will be inside the component. What we need to create one header. So before creating header, because in the app directory we're gonna create the routing setup, so because of that I'm gonna take another directory in the pages, which will be our home.js. all the home file it will contain over here. Now RAFCE, see, we can create that component over here. So this portion, entire page, it will be our home directory, like home page. So this home page we need to just import over here, home, and I think our home is available. So now we inside in the home we can actually start working to create that header, or either, because in the home, just see what we're gonna be having in here. In the home we will have that like that banner, sorry, the header, and also if you just come in the downward in that footer, it will be available in all the components. Like if we go to our cart page, is available. If we go to our logging page, that's too is available. So while we are installing the routing using React Router DOM, we need to make a setup for that one. So first of all, what I'm gonna do, I just go and start creating our banner. So in the components, take a new file, which will be, sorry, it will be header, not banner. I'm just messing up that one, RAFCE. So in that header, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna also take it over here, and I'm gonna remove that class name from here. Now as you see, yeah, our home and our header is available. Now in our header there will be one icon, and first of all let me go and grab all the icons available for our today's build. So I'm gonna just copy from my previous build, and in our access folder I'm gonna just paste it over here. Now you see the cart image, all the images available from here onwards. And also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a new file which will be named index.js, and from that file onwards I'm gonna just import all the images required, like import, and it will be first one, it will be logo dark, and it will be from the same directory, so dark.png. And after importing that one, I'm just going to export that one from over here, logo dark. In this way I'm gonna import everything from my JS file, and it's pretty faster than normally like you are importing directly from the image from the components. It's better to do in that way. So after that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna export all other from here. Now these images are accessible in overall components over there. So now it's time to make our header looks better. So first of all, in the header there is one div. Inside there will be another 2 div. One will contain the logo, another will contain the others. First of all, let's go in the top level of the div. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you width of full height of 20, because we're gonna make it as a sticky later on, and the background will be white. And after making the background white, and also we're gonna make the border which to make remark. Now after applying, you will see that is our header is available over here. So first of all, in that div I'm gonna just get that image. I'm gonna make a div and I'm gonna import the image. First image, it will be logo dark. Of course, first it will not import normally, so let's go import logo dark, and it will be from assets and index file. And also we need to give an alternative logo dark. So now as you see, our logo is available, and of course it looks a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna give a class name width of 28, and after giving that looks better. And here, because as you see, it's getting the entire width, because there is a max width is available over here, and in that div we're gonna just introduce that class name. So I'm just gonna go and grab that class name for that. It will be a max screen width will be Excel, height full, that 20 it will take, and MX auto it will be in the center, and flex item center, justify between. See, it looks better. So now we need to create the other components is available for that. And to create the other component, we'll come in that portion. And in here, first of all, I will take a order list UL, an order list, and here in the li I will take as a home, and like how many I have here, 2 3 4 5. So home, pages, shop, element. So let's create 5. So now it will be pages, home, pages, and then shop, element, block. And after saving it, you see that is available over here, but it's kind of like out of the boundary, and it's because because we need to create that one inside of that. Yeah, now it will be fine. So that is available right now. And for that UL, what we're gonna do, we're gonna also give a class name. We'll make a flex item center, and also I'm gonna give a gap of 8 to just see, now it looks better. And now in that li, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna also introduce some of the class name over here over all the list item. Now see, I'm giving a text of beige, text black, font bold, hover text orange, and hover, whenever it's hovering it will be underline, and underline offset will be to little bit downward, decoration 1 pixel, and cursor pointer duration 300. Now as you see, if I hover I can feel that it's good. So now this font and this font is not similar, because I used a different kind of fonts over here, which is mentioning over there as a title font, and that font name is Poppins. One is Poppins and one is Nonito. So these two font we need to use actually. And to get the font, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go to Google Fonts. Oops, it's giving me Google. It should be Google Fonts. And now from here I will choose the fonts I needed. Now here as you see, I choose 2 font already, Nonito Sans and Poppins. Now in that link section, I'm gonna just take entire link status from there, and in my public folder there over here, index.html, I'm gonna import that font from there over here. And now I can access that font anywhere I like. And also as you see in my previous build, there is a kind of icon is over available. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab my old icon, and in the public I'm gonna keep that icon over here. And here as you see, that icon I'll replace with our icon, a small logo. And also I'm gonna change it over here, a small icon. And after that, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna also change the entire title over here. As you see, it's a React app. We're gonna put the Badger, a modern shopping app. After saving it, you see our title is changed, and also our, now we can actually access the font in our Tailwind CSS. So to access the font in Tailwind CSS, what we need to do, we will go to our tailwind.config.js, and in here I'm gonna just add that font family, and inside that font family I will introduce two font. One will be a body font, which will be a Poppins. One will be title font, which will be Nonito. So now, because now we have the font, we can access it now. So let's go back over here and inspect that one, because I want to give a title font for everything in that header. So I believe the font family, let's go and see, that's the font family. It's the default font family. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in our header, and here what I'm gonna make, overall all will be title font. So as I save the title font and you come over here, see that font family is out, because I believe, yeah, the font family Nonito is now active. So we can use the font family Nonito, and by default what I'm gonna do in the apps, I'm gonna also here give it the class name. It will be font the body font. By default it will take the body font, so whenever we want to use the title font, we can use title font by default. Just mentioning the title font we can use. So we are having our font. Now after that, what we have two another portion. One will be our card item, and another will be our icon. And remember, whenever we are signing, there also we are having that one name. So these three things we need to create. First of all, let's go over here. After that, because we take it inside a div. So what I'm gonna do, in the UL and li, after UL I'm gonna take another image tag, because I think that one also as an image. So first of all, in that one I'm gonna take inside a div, and here I'm gonna just add our, I believe the name will be card image, and if we save, I believe we can see the image. So the card image is available. Now first of all, what I'm gonna do, in the top label of the div, I'm just gonna grab this similar class name, because I want to make it a flex. And after giving that, let's save it, and as you see, it's coming in like side by side, but it's not looks the way it's supposed to be, because in the card, what I'm gonna do, in that here I'm gonna give a class name, and for the card image I'm gonna give it width of 6. That is okay. So now why I take that inside the div, I can actually take as an image. Why I take it, because remember in our final build there is a number over here, so that number we need to initialize. So for that one, that div, I'm gonna make that div as relative, and after making it relative, I'm gonna take a span tag, and oops, it will be a span tag. I'm gonna create a 0, and also for that span tag, because I want to make it as an absolute tag. So let's go and give some class name, and absolute with 6 top 2 is just a normal similar class name over there. I can actually remove that font as a title font, because by default is all the font is title font. So now we are having our items number over here, and now also we need to use another image tag which will contain one image. And to do that, after that div, I'm gonna take an image tag, and this one actually I'm gonna just give a source image from somewhere. So it will be user logo, and as you see, that is available. And for that one also we need to give some class name, which will be width will be 8, height will be 8, and that one rounded will be full. And just save it, and you see, so now our header is done the way it's supposed to look. And after the header, now it's time to create our banner portion. So let's go and create our banner. And banner, actually it will be a slider, as you see it's sliding up properly, so we just need some images. So first of all, let's go in the components, and we're gonna create our banner.js rafce. So that banner is available, and that one actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it in home because that will be in the home portion. And now you will see the banner is available. So first what I'm gonna do in the banner, I'm gonna take some of the images which I'm gonna use. It will be 4 images for our banner. So that image I'm gonna use as a data, and inside the array I'm gonna paste that image. Now that image, it will be applicable for all the things over here. First of all, that div, it will be a full div, and inside that div I'm gonna take another div. And now here actually I'm gonna use a 3 div, because first one it will be entire div, then it will be image which will contain the height, then this button will be available for that, which also I need to make another div. So first of all, what I'm gonna do, in the top level, give a class name. Width will be full, height will be auto, and then after width and height, inside that div, actually first let's go and bring one image so that we can understand it better. An image source, remember we have a data, right? So oops, it will not be an array. Now actually we can access that image from the data. So now the source will be data, and that data we want the first one, an array. You know, remember array is starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So by now we have 4 image. By default it will be 3 image, so that will be our image. And now just image 1, let's save it, and I believe we can see our image. See, our first image is available over here. And for that image I'm gonna just go and grab some class name. It's a normal class name. So as you see, that is our image, the first image. And now in the same way, and also because it will be our first image, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make it a loading priority. So whenever you just refresh, as you see, refresh, the image will be instantly popping up. You don't need to wait. So I'm giving a first loading as a prioritize with that. And after that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna popping up my other 3 images over here. So now I have 4 images, as you see, it's lying side by side, like bottomwards, downwards. So what I am gonna do, in the top level of that div, in the image div, so I'm gonna give a width, and width of will be 400 view width. So that will be the initial width, and then height will be full. And also I'm gonna make it a flex, and the duration, sorry, it's not will be the duration, so just make it a flex. And as you see, my image is available, but it's coming side by side because I made it flex, and also the width is a 400 view width, so that will be fine. It's just maximizing the width proportion. And now what I need to do, actually I don't want to see other images. So what I'm gonna do, in the top label of the top div over here, I'm gonna make that overflow X, which I'm gonna make it hidden. After making it hidden, you see we can see only one image available over here. So now before creating any other portion, let's go and introduce, because I need to bring that button. Remember we have that button over here. These 2 button we need to bring it, and these 2 button actually we're gonna bring it from React icons. So let's go and React icons. First we need to install that React icons over here, and these 2 button, it will be this over here, which are right and left. So you can just click and choose the right one. It will give you all the available buttons. You just any of the button, just click, it will copy, then you can download over there. So now these 2 button I'm gonna use. And remember, after the div over here, this is the div contain all the images, and in before that, like after that images, I have another over here, and this one actually, because I'm taking the height of full, so this one we're gonna give some class name over here, and it will be width of like with full, not full, which will be screen height. So whatever the screen is, depending on that, it will take that full width, and height it will be 650px, and that one we're gonna make it as relative, because after that one we're gonna take another div which we are going to make it absolute for the icons. So now inside that div, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take 2 more div, so 2 div, and first div which will contain like hi arrow left, and the second one which will contain that hi arrow right. So this is my 2 div, and I believe some is, see, it's over here available in the corner in the bottom section. So now we need to make it as an absolute, so that's why it will just go in the actual level. So I'm just go and grab some class name for that overall div. Is an absolute with feed and left 0 right 0, just normal kind of a setup is there. As you see, it's available over here. And also for the other one, like for that div over here, I'm gonna make also some class name, because I'm gonna give a width and height, and giving a border color, and making it like the center using the flex proportion. And also for that one I'm gonna do the same. So now I have the 2 button, as you see. So now whenever I'm clicking, that image need to be changes, right? So for that one I'm gonna just also introduce over here, like whenever I make on click, it will be a brief slide, and the other one, whenever I on click on that, oops, it will be on click, yeah, it will be next slide. So these 2 portion I need to create. So first of all, let's go to top, and it's very simple to create. You just try 1-2 times, then you will understand it better. So now what I'm gonna do, first I'm gonna make a brief slide, and that one it will be a simple function, simple arrow function. So now what it gonna do, actually, because of that I need to take because I don't want to explain that one much further, because it's very simple to make. You try and it will be just fine. So it will be the current slide, and then set current slide, and by default in UG state it will be 0. So we're gonna make it as current slide and the previous slide. So what I'm gonna do, whenever we are clicking in a previous slide, like on clicking on over here in that one, what it gonna happen, and whenever we click over here, what is gonna happen. So first of all, whenever we are clicking over here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna make set current slide. It will be like current slide if equal to the 0, the first one. If it's a 0, the first one, then it will be take the last image. Otherwise I'm gonna take a prev function is available over here, and the prev minus 1. Oops, it will be prev minus 1. So it's just giving us whenever I have an image like this one, this is the first image. Whenever I click on that, it will give the third image. Otherwise it will give, if it's the second, it will give the third. If it's the first, it will give the second. The same thing it gonna do. And also for that my next slide, what I'm gonna do the same way. It will be first it will be minus, the second one it will be plus. That's simple, that is as that one. So now if I see, first let's go inspect and make the console.log, and it will be like current slide. Oops, current slide. And now see, first one is 0. If we click, it's changing 1, the next 2, next 3, then coming the 0. Now if we click, if it's 0, you could give the third one, second, first. So by that way it gonna change the images proportion. That's all only. And now whenever that changing, we need to actually work on it, work on that way that it's really working. So first of all, in that div, that image is inside that div, remember. So in that div we're gonna introduce one style, and that style it will be like a transform. We're gonna give a transform. Oops, transform. And that transform, let's make in a functional way. So it will be transform let x, and here what I'm gonna introduce, I'm gonna like the current slide. Remember, we're gonna current slide, it will be like 100 view width, it will be take. So whenever that like 1 2 3 is going to happen, like I click, it will take that image to that 100% left right in that way. So now as you see, I can view all the images, but it's coming so fast because I need to create one transitioning over here. So make a transition like the transform, I think, transition, it will be transform, and the duration I'm gonna just give a 1 seconds overall duration. And as you see, whenever I click, the image is changing and I'm getting a very good directional transitioning over here. So our banner looks fine. Now it's time to create our other components. So now we will create our product component. As you see, our product will be over here, and to create that one, what I am gonna do here in the components is create another one, which will be products.js RAFCE. So now here it will be our product, and let's go to our, let's close the banner, header, and in the home, because the product, it will be our home page. So let's import the product. So now as you see, our products is available over here, and to that products we are just going to make it a little bit better. So overall, and the div, I'm gonna give you padding in y-axis, it will be 10. And after that, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna take a div, and inside that div, actually what I'm going to create, I'm going to create that text and shopping every day, and that little bit details over here. These two things I am gonna create over here. And to create that, first of all, I'm just gonna grab our h1 tag, and it will be like shopping every day. And for that one, I'm just going to just go and grab some class name for that. And as you see, that is available over here, but we need to make it in the center. So in our overall div, what I'm gonna do, we'll make a flex. Of course, I'm gonna making a flex in column direction because we have some other items. So item center, and the gap will be 4, and after doing that, you see that's in the middle. And after that also we need to have another span tag, because to giving that little bit black line. So that will be weight 20, height 3 pixel, and you see the black line is available over here. And also after that, we have some predefined details over here, which I'm just going to grab it because it's not that much important to explain. It's giving a max width of 700 pixel, text gray, so it looks bit like that, and it looks fine. So after having that, we're gonna have that product. And of course, before creating the product, we need to create the routing. So because I want to create that routing, because that product, we're gonna use loader. We're gonna get the product using the React router DOM, not using the use effect. Okay, and because of that, we need to create the routing. So before creating routing, I'm gonna create that like that footer, because that footer and header is available everywhere. So let's go and create the footer. And first of all, what I'm gonna do actually, like in here, after that div, after the first div, I'm gonna create another div, and inside that div, I'm gonna use a product cards, because as you see, these products, it will be singular component, each and one single component. So in here, let's just make a demo one. It will be productcard.js RAFCE. So now that product cards, it will be implemented over here. Of course, we're gonna make it later because of that issue. We first need to create the header, and that one actually what I'm gonna do, because it's not looks good, it will be like max wide of screen axle, and Amex it will be auto, and now it will be our products card. So first of all, let's go and create the footer over here. After footer, we're gonna create that routing DOM. So it will be footer.js RAFCE, and that footer actually we're gonna take it in our app, so it will be footer. So now you see that footer is available. So to create that footer, what I'm gonna do, first of all, to make it looks visible internally, is close all. In the top label of the div, I'm gonna give a class name that bg will be black, and of course there will be a text which will be predefined text. The color I'm gonna give it, it will be 949494. You can put that curly like the third bracket, and can make that one in a like you can access the default color. So the font, it will be the title font. So as we save, see the footer is available with the color. So now actually what we're gonna have a 4 section on that footer. The first one, it will be the logo, second look at us profile, and that one is it will be subscription. So in here we're gonna introduce another div. Inside that div we have that 4 section over here. First of all, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give a class name in the overall div. Next width, it will be screen, and it will be Excel, and MX, it will be auto. So now I think it will be in the middle wise. Oops, because nothing is available over here. So first what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a div, and inside that div I am gonna introduce our image, logo image, and also the payment image. It will go over here. So first let's see, I'm gonna take that image. Oops, yeah, the image source, it will be our logo light. Yeah, so as we save, our image is available over here. And for that image, what I'm gonna do, give a class name width of 32. Yes, it's the similar size. And after that image we have one text, and then we have another image, and we have the icon. So we have like total 4 components available over here. So after image, we're gonna have an text which will just at reactpd.com, just a normal text, the text you want to give for your any website. And then we're gonna have another image, and that image will contain the payment image we have available. So we need to import that image from assets. I imported that one, and as you will see, the image is available. And after that, and you see it's just squishing all together because we need to give a gapping over here, and that gap we're gonna give to in the parent div over here. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna make it a flex, and it will be flex in column, and the gap will be 7. And after giving that, you see the gap is available. Now we need to give that 5 icon. First of all, let's go and grab those icons from our friend from React icons. These all are the icons it will be. And now what I'm gonna do, in here I'm gonna introduce another div. Oops, it will not be there, div. And now in that div, first I'm gonna give I think GitHub. Yeah, it should be Git. Oops, is it not the one we implement? Let's see in the top. Oh, because 2 3 4 5, yeah, there will be another icon which is I am GitHub. We didn't. Okay, so this will be the first one. So let's go and grab it. As you see, our icon is available over here, but whenever we hover, there will be some kind of hover effect. And to create that effect, let's go give a class name, and that class name, it will be whenever we hover, the text will be white, and the duration, it will be 300. And of course the cursor, we need to make it as a pointer. So you will see whenever now we hover, it's giving us the effect. And in the top level of here, what I'm gonna do, like instead of pulling all over the things, I'm gonna get another icons, which I have this 3 icons, another 4 icons. Like I have the icons available over here, but we need to make it a little bit good. To make it that, we'll give a flex and the gap of 5, and also initially the text will be a little bit a bigger icon, and the text gray, it will be the 500, or I'm gonna make it a 400 to the initial color, because whenever we're gonna hover, it will be the white color. So now as you see, that is available over here, and now that looks slick. So first we are having that. So after that also we need to create that locate us, and to create that one, inside that div we're gonna create that so logo icon is already end over here. Now locate us, it will be start over here. So first of all, here it will be one h2 tag, and that 2 tag will contain locate us. And for that one, actually I'm gonna make it like class name, and the text will be 2XL, and font I want to make it in a semi bold, little bit bolder, and of course the text will be white, and margin bottom of 4. So after having that, you see, because we need to create that margin from here. So now as you see, it's squashing all together. So to avoid that one, what I'm gonna do, in that label, on the top label, which I'm giving that max wide, I'm gonna make it a grid, and the grid calls I'm gonna give it a 4, because we have 4 columns. And after saving it, as you see, now it's coming on the pieces. So now after having that, after that h2 tag, I'm gonna take a div, and inside that div I'm gonna take some p tag, which will contain my address, my mobile number, phone number, email, and everything. Now you see that is contained that. I think we made a mistake, because this entire proportion we need to keep inside a div, otherwise it will take in a grid pattern for everywhere. So now you see that looks better. And now also in that parent div, let's give it a text, a base text, and a flex call, and we're gonna give a gap up to little bit downward. Wow, that looks fine, the similar of that. So after that one, we also need to create another one, which will be profile, and that profile also we need to create a div. Now first of all, the same tag we are using over here, that too we're gonna use that, and that one will be profile. And after saving it, you will see the profile available over here. Now there will be some icons and then some other things. So first of all, what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab all the icons will be necessary for that. Already having some icons, but just let's go and grab other icons also. So first, I'm gonna take a p tag, and inside that p tag I'm gonna just make my account. First I want to see how it looks. You see my account is available. Now we need to just get that icon and setting up together. So first of all, what I'm gonna do before that my account is finished, I'm gonna take a span tag. It will be a span tag, and here I'm gonna make person fill, and I believe our icon is available. And now in that p tag, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go and grab some of the class name to make it looks better. Yeah, I'm just giving a flex to that, make that icon coming in together. Item center, gap 3, whenever I'm hovering, it's giving me the text wide, duration, and the cursor pointer. So like that, nice, looks better. So now after having that, actually I'm not requiring that one. So after having that, how many I have actually? I have, I believe, yeah, 4. So I'm just, because it's the same thing, similar of the previously, so I'm gonna just grab 3 of my other portion over here, that p tag. One will be my checkout, one will be order tracking, one will be help and support. The same setup, same class name, everything is the same as you see. Now it's not looks good, is squishing all together, because in our parent div over here, because see this one we take it as a separate. So what I'm gonna do, all the p tag I'm gonna just put it inside and div, and that div I'm gonna go and grab some class name for that, and that class name just let's give flex, and it will be items, it will be Santa, and I believe it will be not that one, yeah, because flex, we need to make it a flex column, yes, and the gap will be 2 and the text will be best. The similar one of that we give over here, the same thing we're providing. So now we have our profile, and after having profile we need to have another one which will contain our subscribe button. Let's see what is available over here. One input, one subscribe button. So there's two things. So first of all, let's create a div, and first one it will be import, another it will be button. That button will contain subscribe, and for that input we'll just go and grab some class name, and also we need to give a placeholder which will contain our email. Okay, so now you see that one is available. So also in our top label we need to make that same one, class name flex call, and justify center, and as you see that is available. So now what we need to do for that button tag, also we're gonna go and grab some class name, and now you will see our button is available. So our footer is ready, and our header is ready, and also our home page is ready. Now it's time to create our React router DOM npm. We need to first install that one. To install, let's go to over here. Let's see where we are. Yeah, we are in the right direction. Let's paste it over here. Now actually you can go to React router DOM official page over here, and you will find everything the way I am using, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use that proportion that create routes with I'm gonna just use the create browse router, yeah, and it will be I'm gonna use the create browser router. I think that's the default one they're using. Yeah, that I'm using. You can just go, feel free to just go all the details to read, and you will understand. But for this project, you can just do that with me together, and it will be easy peasy. Our React router is already installed. So first of all, what I need to do, I need to create I'm just gonna import whatever the things I'm gonna use from there. So let's import. I'm gonna use that create browse router, outlet, React router provider is called restoration. So those things I'm gonna use. So first of all, I'm gonna create a layout, because in layout I'm gonna describe what I want. Like, let's go create const layout. And in that layout, what I want, first of all, I'm gonna return, let's give it a first bracket, return what I want. First it will be header, okay, and after the header it will be the outlet, and that outlet will be whatever is inside in the middle, and then it will be the footer. That's a simple proportion of outlet. What I want, first I want to be our header. Okay, the header will be shown in every page, and also the footer will be showing in every page, and that outlet will contain all the pages. Like if I go to our card, that card page, if I go to logging, this middle component will be contained within the outlet. So that outlet we create over here, and now it's time to create our router. And to create the router, what you need to do, const router. And in that router, we're gonna use that create a browse router, and here I'm gonna take it as an array, and inside the array I'm gonna create all the routers I am requiring. First it will be home router, and that home router, it will take an element, and first element it will take our element as layout. First it will take the layout, and that layout will have some children which will also contain as an array, and inside that array we're gonna give a path. The first it will be the home path, which will contain in the home page, and that home page, the element, it will be our home element which we created already. The home page it will contain. So first we're having the home page. Like, to understand that one better, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create another page which will be our cart.jx rafce. So that will be our cart page. So now let's go over here, create another path, and it will be the cart, and the element it will be our cart page. And also with that we're gonna have another 2 more page which will contain with the product ID and with the login. So these 2 things we're gonna create whenever necessary. So first of all, let's go over here. Now these all things actually not required, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna use that router provider from our React router DOM, and in here it's taking as a router, and that router it will be our router which we created over here, that router. So now if we just go over here, as you see those things are available. Now also we have another page which contain the cart. If we go in the cart, you see the header and footer available, and we are having the cart page. Now we just need to put up all the elements is required. And also that header you see is not sticky, and to make it much better looks, to make it sticky, we need to do some setup in the component where we have the header. What we're gonna do in our top level, okay, so here we're gonna make it as a sticky, and the top 0, the Z index we will give as 50, so it will be available for everything. Now you see, now our header is sticky, so it's time to get our products data. So now we have our products cart, but we need to pull up all the data. And now we have one side which is fake store store API. I think it will be .reactbd.com. Now from here, from this products data we're gonna use for our application. This product data contains all the data is available over here, all the images, all the title, rate, category, everything is available from that data. So to do that, actually we're gonna use that loader data, and to first of all we need to fetch that data, and to fetch the data we need to create another file over here in the API. So we'll make it api.js, and through that API we're gonna take that one. First of all we need to import the Axios. It will be npm I Axios. With that Axios we're gonna hit that and get the data from there. First of all, let's import Axios from Axios. And how that one is actually work, feel free to go to the React router DOM and take and check with the use loader data component, you will see. So from here I'm gonna make a function, assign function, and I'm gonna export it from there. That function name will be like products, not the products, it will be products data. So that products data is it will be like cons products. That products it will wait for to get the data, and it will use the axios.get, and that data it will get from here. We have that link. From that link we're gonna get the data. All the data is necessary for that, and what it gonna do, it gonna return the products. So now that products is available, like this, all are the products is available to go and to get it from this site. So first of all, how we can access those data? First of all, in our, whenever we are declaring the router, remember we declare router in our app.js, and where we want the products, we want that in the home page. See, in the home page we have our all products. So now in the home page, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the loader, and that loader we will just return that products data. Remember, you need to import that one over here, already import, auto import. So this data now it's available in the loader. It have that products data. It's passing that data from here to home. Now if I go to my home page, actually the data will be available for me. So let's go to home, and in here I'm gonna use that use effect, because I need to use the use effect because it will load the data from there. So now what I'm gonna do, Actually, before using the actually I'm gonna use better, or just I'm gonna just want to see data is available or not. So I'm gonna use loader data, and that loader data will be from React router DOM. So now as you see, my data will be available over here. So now console.log, let's see what is coming in the data. Is it giving me anything or not? So if I inspect that one over here, and in the console, just make a refresh. See, I am having an array, and that array coming with the status 200, so it's available, and inside that array there is another option is there, which is coming as a data, and in that data I have the 20 items which contain the products. So first of all, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just declare another state which will be which will contain the as the products as a products. I'm gonna get the products from there, and instead of getting it in that row function, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take an use effect, because that data gonna be changes whenever I am gonna just going throughout the pages. So that one will be very good if I use that one with that use effect. So the data I'm gonna just setting as a product, and of course I'm gonna take an array, and here I'm gonna put a dependency with data. So whenever the data is changing, it's gonna change. Now where I want that products data, actually I'm gonna use in the products. Remember, inside that products we will have the data. So from the home, because the parent directory is the home, so as products I'm gonna just pass our products. Okay, so now from that home, in the products we are passing that data. So now if I go to products, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just simply access that products in there. I believe it's a small letter. Why is coming big? Small letter will be there. Yeah. So now if I make that console.log, I think we will see our products data, and it will coming from the product. I think the column number 5. So just hit a refresh. Let's see the data. You see the data, and its data is available in the products. So now we are having the product. We are ready to implement that product in over here. So first of all, to do that, what I'm gonna do, in this div will contains the product, and I'm gonna make a py of 10, because I want to see it a little bit. Okay, now it looks better. So now here in that products card, actually we have the product data, 20 data we have, remember. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go and make, it will be products.map, and that map I'm gonna take as an item, and that item I'm gonna pass that one. So let's see how many items. As you see, we have 20 items, as 20 data is available, and also those items I'm gonna give a grid pattern. So just make a grid, and the grid calls, it will be, I believe, the 4, and the gap I'm gonna give a 10, and you see we have a good grid pattern available here. Now we have the products card, and that is the product cards available. So we need to pass our data to that products card. And how are we gonna do that? And there is another problem which you're gonna face in the console whenever you are getting that. You see that each child in a list should have a unique key prop. First of all, let's go and give that key prop, and the key, it will be item, which contain our items, and there is an ID. As you see, if we go over here in the products, all the products have a unique ID. So this ID we're gonna access to that, and whenever we give the ID, just refresh, the error is gone. And also I believe that console is not record anymore. So now we are passing that now we need to pass our data. So that data we will name as the name of a product, and that product will contain all the items. So now this item can be accessible in our products portion. Like if we go to our products card, we can actually access that product. So let's just copy that one, go to products card, and now paste it over here, oops, it will not be there. Actually I make it wrong. It should be just products. Yeah, so now if we make a console.log and product, now this console.log should be coming from the products card. Let's see what we have. Now we have all the items is in the products card in the separate horizon. Okay, so now we can access that product data in our card over here. So close that one. First of all, let's see what we have actually in the products card. Here we have let me just get my drawer to just, yeah, first of all we have this full component. Okay, that component divide into two steps. One, we have the image, and another one we have the details. Here whenever we hover, that add to cart button will be available, and also we will have a sell button. So these four things we need to create. And to create that, first of all, let's go to our in the entire div. What I am gonna do, because now we can access the product, right? So I'm gonna take a div, and inside that div I'm gonna take the image, and the image source, it will be product dot image. Oops, it will be image product image. Now if we go to over here, you see all the images available because we made it as a grid. That's why it's giving us a good pattern. So now for that image, what I am gonna do, for the image also I'm gonna go and grab some class name also, and this portion in the top label I'm gonna give a width of full, and the height it will be 96, and the cursor it will be pointer, and the overflow it will be hidden. Because of why, whenever like I'm giving a width full, height full, because whenever we because this one, let's go and give a class name of group, because whenever we are hovering that entire portion, that image gonna go given a scale of 110. Like whenever I hover, see, and the overflow is hidden because the div contains the image. I'm making it overflow as hidden. So now we have our product image. After image we need to create that the down portion, and to create that one, after that image over here, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna take another div, and let's take one div, and for this div, because that will contain the full width and height. Okay, and there is also one border, and just padding in x-axis 2, y-axis 4, and you will see this is the containing over here. Now these two will be inside the div, right? So first let's create that one. So in here we will take another div, and inside that div I'm gonna having an h2 tag. That 2 tag will contain product.title, and after the product.title, yes, yeah, now we have the title. And for that title, to make it looks little bit better, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna grab some class name, font title font text base, and font will be little bit bolder. As you see, it's available. And now what I need to do, actually I need to take that one which will be our price, first one. And to do that, after that h2 tag, I believe I take inside a div. So after that div I'm gonna take another div, and first one it will be a p tag, and that p tag will contain product.price. Or first one it will be like the old price, and the second one it will be product.price. So as we save, see those all prices available. Of course, before finishing the price we need to give a $sign. So these are the price we have, and that overall in the top level of the div, this contains I think I better take this one inside another div. Yes, because I'm gonna make it a flex div. So let's give a flex justify between, justify between, and item center it will be. So as I did, so this is in the center, And also this portion also I need to give a flex proportion, otherwise it will not show the desired one I want to see. So first of all, let's go give a class name, and that will be again flex, and the gap will be 2. As you see, this gapping is over here. And first of all, for the old price, let's go and give some class name, and that one it will be line through. So it will be a line in the middle, and the text gray, and that text gray it will be 500. And for the another one, class name, the font it will be semi-bold to looks little bit bolder. As you see, that looks better. But what I believe, something we are missing, line through, THRO, yeah, oops, yeah, line through. Okay, so now that is working fine. Okay, also what we need to do in the top level, in the top level of the div, what I am gonna do actually, this is my h1 which I am taking. Okay, and because I am gonna having another p tag over here, so now this is my 2p tag. So this 2p tag I'm gonna take inside a div. It's a bit of little bit complexity over here, because whenever I hover, you see the add to cart is coming, other one is going. So these things I need to create. So to create that one, what I am gonna do actually, so I'm taking it inside a div, and over here on that div, what I am gonna do, let's go, I'm gonna go and give some class name for that div. I'm giving a width of 28. As you see, this is not looks the way it's supposed to be, because I see the some in here, the all I need to just make the title as in a synchronized way that it will not go some of like, I will make a substring. I want the minimum it will be a 0 words, and maximum it will be 15 words. So maximum 15 words it will take over here. As you see, now it looks better. Now I have also this icons looks little bit cold. So now over here, what I need to do, in over here this portion, I have to div over here. So first of all, text sm. Okay, let's also just give a gap of 2 just to see. Yeah, okay, yeah, I believe that looks fine. So now I need to add another p tag after that div. This in the top level of the div, what I am gonna do to that div, I'm gonna make it as a relative, because here I'm gonna take another p tag, and that, oops, it will be a p tag. Why is taking object? And that p tag it will contain add to cart. So this p tag will contain over here. As you see, it's breaking. First of all, what I'm gonna do, because it's just a little bit of complexity over here, so I'm just gonna explain in a bit. That p tag, I'm just going to grab some class name. I'm giving an absolute z, width of 100 pixel, text gray, and you see whenever I am just hovering on the group, I believe, yeah, it's giving a translate x equal to 0, just giving the portion to moving over there. So as you see, this hover is coming from there, but it's not the way it's supposed to be, because there is some portion which I need to give over here. Let's go, and in the top level over here, I need to make the proportion of that flex gap to transform group hover translate x24. So in that way I can move that too. So now as you see, whenever I am going there, that entire portion is moving somewhere and coming over here. So also what I need to do actually, I need to make that overflow hidden. So what I am gonna do actually, overflow hidden, and you see, yeah, but now it not looks that much good, because I need to give a width which I'm gonna give it 28. And now as you see, oops, still not looks the way I am looking, give a text of smaller text. Okay, yeah, it's almost there. And to make it a bit exact the way I want, also actually we need to have one icon. Remember, in here there is an icon. Yeah, we are missing that icon, that's why it's not matching. So what I'm gonna do after that, add to cart, I'm gonna take a span tag, and in that span tag the icon, it will be BS arrow, I believe. It will be BS arrow right. Okay, BS arrow right. So after adding that icon, now yeah, that is looks a couple bit of fine. But what is actually killing, they are here, I believe. To make that one, this is our top level of the div, because it's not giving that justify. So what I'm gonna make it as justify end, and after having that, now you see whenever I'm hovering, it's giving me the card. Whenever hovering at the card, it's giving the exact situation I am looking for. So now we have that. Now first of all, we are having all the products available over here, and we have also the cart page, but there is another page which will be available whenever we are clicking on that image. First of all, I believe there is another portion which remember that sale tag is available, so we need to create that tag also. And to create that, so first let's create that one. So after actually that there is actually two two is balanced. Yeah, I was so excited, so I forget that there is two. So first of all, we have that overall add to cart. Then yeah, this is the tag, this is the one we are working for, so it will be inside of that. And there I'm gonna take another div, gonna take a p tag, and that p tag, it will be like the product dot category, and you see the products dot category is available. And also after that div, initial div, what we need to do, I'm gonna take another div, and that div will contain another portion. It will be like product dot is new. If that new is available, only then it gonna reflect, it gonna return a p tag, and that p tag will contain yeah, it will contain is for sale. So let's see how many we have. Now the sale is not available for all. Whenever just is new is available, that giving the sale. And for that sale also, what we gonna do, actually we're gonna just go and grab some class name to looks it the way it's supposed to look. So that is our p tag, giving the speech black, text white, font semi-bold, font title font, and giving a padding to make it looks better. So now this is the one over here. But what we will actually do in the top level, we're gonna also introduce some of the class name, and that it will be absolute, and from the top it will be 4, and from the right it will be 0. So after having that, we cannot find that, because remember we have an overall div, the group div. We need to make it as relative to see it through. So now you see that is available over here. So now we need to create another page. Whenever we click, like whenever we click over here in any of the image, click is taking us to the product and giving us the name of the title of that page. So first of all, to create that, what we will do, I believe we will create it in the components. Okay, so that one, it will be only single product .js refce. So that product, I'm gonna close the home API. Okay, so now in the app.js, we need to create that route actually. So what are the route? It will be the path, it will contains a single things, which will be like product and ID. It will require the product and ID, and the element it gonna take our product page. I need to give that one. Okay, so now whenever we come over here, like if we type the product and giving ID like 2, it gonna giving us a page name the product. So over here in the product, actually now we can access all the items which will be sent from our products card, like whenever we are on click on that image, right? And to create that portion in the product card, actually in that div, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna taking an on click event. Oops, sometimes why auto is not okay, just make it manually. On click event, and that on click I'm gonna make it like handle details. So let's go in the top level, we're gonna make const handle details. Oops, details. So first of all, let's see if it's working or not. So whenever we click over here, it should give us that details. Yeah, so now that clicking is available for that one. First of all, what we need to do, just try to understand, we need to get the product ID. Okay, remember whenever we are clicking, we are getting that ID as the name, right? So first of all, we need to create that name as ID, only then we can navigate through that page with that ID. So to do that, first what we're gonna do, we're gonna just create that const ID equal to, it will be like product dot title. Remember we are going to take the name as an ID. So we that like if we make the console.log and that log is giving the ID, you will see, oops, it will be console. Okay, now you see I'm receiving all the available IDs available over here. See the name. So but there is a gap, there is a capital letter, because whenever we're gonna create the routing, all we need is a smaller letter. We cannot use the capital letter in routing. So first of all, what I am gonna do, I'm taking as ID. Okay, now this ID I'm gonna make it something different. What I'm gonna do, const that one will be ID string, because we're gonna make it a string, and that string I'm gonna take it as ID, and I'm gonna go through, and that return, what it gonna return, it gonna return the string, and that string it will take ID as a parameter, and from that parameter, that ID it will make to, I don't know why my okay, string dot ID dot to lowercase. Oops, I think it will be lowercase. Yeah, and then it will make split, and that is split I'm gonna remove all the space between, and then I'm gonna make it a join, and that join I'm gonna remove everything from there. I'm gonna just join it as usual. So now if I make the console.log, and if you see, just refresh, it will not come, because I need to make yeah, it will not come, because what I need to do, I need to make it in a way that, because I'm gonna go to all the IDs, so I will make another string which will be root ID, and that root ID will take the ID string which I create, ID string, and inside that ID string it gonna take the ID and it will make it the way it's supposed to be. It will remove all the space between, all the uppercase, it will make everything in lowercase, and it will keep it without any space. So now we have our root ID, and now actually we need to access the navigate portion, like const navigate. It will be from the use navigate. I don't know why this one is not giving me the auto pop-up. No suggestion. So that one actually we will get it from React router DOM, and now we need to navigate through that. So what I'm gonna do, whenever we click in handle details, it gonna navigate And where it will navigate, I'm gonna take in a functional way. It's gonna navigate to my product page, and that product page, what it gonna do, it gonna take that root ID, the ID I am giving, and then what it gonna do, it gonna pass also an object, and there I'm gonna passing a state, and that state will pass the item, and that item it will be product. Remember the product I have, whenever I click whichever product, it gonna pass that. So now if we just over here just put a little bit downwards, if I click, as you see, I am getting that jacket with woolen hat, and also I am having that product which I am passing over here. And to access that product, actually I will use that use location from React router DOM. So I believe I removed that everything from here. Yeah, so now in the product over here, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna take that use location, like const location location, and that use location I am gonna take it from React router DOM. I'm gonna import from there. Oops, yeah. So now accessing with that, oops, not the use it will be use location. I'm taking the use navigate. So now if I just make that it's better to get that using the use effect, and of course you'll make an empty string over here. So now just see what location is giving over here. Okay, oops, console.log, it will be location. Okay, so now if we go over here, just go to our home page and click any of the image, you see we are having something, we are having a path, and in the state we are having our desired item. So like if we make location dot state dot item, I believe we will see the item. And also let's go to our actually in the header, so it will be a little bit easy to us. So we're gonna create the link, and that link it will give us to home page. So now if we just click over here, it will bring us to the home page, and you see and when you click, you see we are getting that actual product khaki jeans, and also the product ID is available. So now whenever we are coming in home page, it should not go in the top. You see it's like if you go to home, it's not rolling to the top, see. And to do that, actually we can just fix that issue first over here, and after the outlet I will just make that score restoration. So after doing that one, now if we just go and click that item, we have jacket with wool, we have that item. So this item available, if we go to home, it's getting us in the top. So now we have the item over here in the product. So now we can actually make that item the way we want. First of all, we will just take an state. That state will be like const details, it will be set details, use state. First of all, I'm gonna put an empty object, and I'm gonna just make our that one as set details. So now we have the item. Actually we can go through it and set up the items right now. And how we can set the items, as you see, if we our previous build, when we click, we have one image in the left side and the other things in the right side. So let's roll back to our product section, and in here we are taking a div. Inside that div we will take another div, and that div actually I'm just gonna go a little bit quick on that because it's the same sort of setup we're gonna create overall. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to take one div which will contain the image and others, and in here we need to keep that our image, which will be our details.image. Remember, we are accessing the details from over here using the use location. Now after we save, as you go over here, close it, click any of the, we get that image. And after having there, we remember we have another one that whenever we have that cell mark, we need to create that cell over here in the image. And to do that, let's go to an image which has the cell. That one has the cell. So in that over here, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna give a class name which will be 2 by 5, like around 45% something relative. And after doing there, it will be the same way inside a div. I'm gonna create the way we did before, same portion, div. And in that div, what we need to do, because the same setup actually, nothing changes the way we did before. So now as you see, our cell is available, and after that we need to create the right portion. And to create the right portion, what we need to do actually, to create the right portion, now our image portion is finished over here, and after finishing over here, I'm gonna get that one. So first of all, we will maximize the width and height, okay, because we give 2 by 5 over here. So over here I'm gonna give width of 3 by 5, okay. So this height gonna contain everything over there. And as you may see, first of all, this will be over here with 3 by 5. And now I'm gonna take another div. Inside the div, I'm gonna get the h2 tag, and h2 tag will contain like details dot, it will be our title. So after saving, we'll see the title is available over here. And for the titles, I want it to look a little bit better. What I am gonna do, I'm gonna give some class name to make it looks better. After the title, we're gonna have that price section over here. So after this one, it's the similar work we have been done before. So we will just go and grab that old price and new price the same way, and you see that is available. But to make it looks better, what we need to do actually, yeah, it's supposed to be in that way, okay. And to make it looks better, in that div, I am going to just introduce some of the class name over here. Now it looks better. And also in the top level over here, I'm gonna make it a flex. I'm gonna make it as a flex call, and also I'm gonna make a justify center, and the gap will be 12 to make it looks bit downward, looks better. So now after having that one, we need to also, like this 2 is there, we need to get that icon. That icon is like, it will be MD and outline is star. Yeah, that icon should be for that. So as you see, we have an icon, but we need the 5 icon for 5. And also that icon, what I am gonna do, actually, let's go and make it as a flex class name, flex item center, item center, and the gap will be 2, and the text will be base. Now we have the icon, and also there is another text will be there which will contain the icons review. So what I am gonna do actually, I'm gonna take that inside a div over here. Yeah, better. I'm gonna take a div over here. So class name flex, yeah. So this will give me flex, and now I can actually add another items which also going to contain our p tag. That's just a normal p tag. I'm gonna introducing that one, which will giving us one customer review over here. So now after that, I am gonna, after that this div, I'm gonna adding another p tag which will contain our details dot description. And as you see, description is available, and I am also going to make a bit of class name for it. Just a simple class name. Whenever you are typing in your application, you will understand that one better. So after having that one, what we need to do, we need to add that quantity and the button. So it will be 2 set of things. So after that p tag, I am going to take another div, and inside the div, first div, I'm gonna take that portion over here, available over here, then I'm gonna take the button. So inside that div, what I am gonna actually do, I'm gonna take a like a p tag quantity. So as you see, the p tag is available over here, the quantity, and this quantity I'm gonna make that one as a small tag. Sorry, the text is small. So now I need to introduce one button over here, and that button, first, let's see, it will be first one, it will be minus, okay, and then the second one, another button which will be plus, and also like inside that button I'm gonna take a span tag which will contain the our number. Just give it 1. Let's see. Yeah, so now our button is now we need to, because it's a div, so what I am gonna do actually, in the overall div we have, after the quantity, remember after the quantity we are taking a like the name. Oh, actually we need to keep that inside a div, because we're gonna put that everything inside that div. So over here in that div, I'm gonna grab some class name, flex item center, gap4, text sm, just the normal items for that. And as I remember, that quantity also include in that all the text. So over here, that quantity and the div. So in that div, I need to go and grab some class name for it. So let's go it, because I'm gonna give a justify between on that, and also giving a border to looks little bit better. So now you see we have that affection. Now we need to create that proportion for that, and to do that, actually for the first button, which will contain the minus, the same setup, and also the plus one, it will be same class name, which will contain the height 5 and the text, just a bit of class name over that. So as you see, whenever you're hovering, you're getting some items available over here. So now after that, we need to introduce that button. So I believe we have that to div which we contains over here. So that div will contain the button. So the button, it will be contain that add to cart, and for that cart button also I'm just gonna go and grab some class name, and as you'll see, the button is available over here. In this over here in the top level, you're gonna give a class name and the gap of 4. So the button is available, okay, and then also quantity is available. Now it's time to give that category, and to give that category, after where the div is finished, I think this is the actual div in just let's go through. Yeah, nope, this is the div finish here, so that is the div. So where the button is finished, we're gonna go and give another p tag, and that p tag will contain category, and after that, like details dot category. So as we save, yeah, now our category is available. And for that, what I am gonna do, actually gonna grab some class name for our p tag, okay, and also for our span tag, which will contain the category, we're gonna make it as a capitalize. I think I am gonna keep it in a span tag. Yeah, span tag, and have some class name for it, and the font will be medium, capitalize. So now we are having our things is ready. We can go to our home page, and whenever we are selecting any of the items, we can go through and get it on the paging item. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna create that, like whenever we are clicking in add to cart, we should be available to get a product in the cart. So it's time to create our Redux store. And to create the Redux store, we're gonna use that Redux toolkit. So let's go to Redux toolkit, and we're gonna go to quick start. And in here, as you see, we need to install that Redux.js toolkit and React Redux. These two things we need to install. So let's install that one. And what is showing, we need to create an store.js over here. So first of all, in the source folder, we're gonna create another folder which will contain everything related to Redux. Let's create our store.js, and in the store.js, I'm just gonna copy over here from that whatever is available. Let's save it, and after that one also we need to create another. We need to connect it to our index.js. We need to get the provider and we need to get the store. So in our index.js, what I'm gonna do, import provider. That provider, it will be, I believe that will be from React Redux actually. Why is not giving me the pop-up? Let's try again. Import provider. Yeah, React Redux. And also we need to make import our store which we create over there, and that store, it will be Redux store. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to wrap everything, our application, inside that provider, and that provider will take as a parameter as a store, as our store we have been created. So now if we go over here and make it just an inspect, our Redux is initiated, and in the Redux, that is the previous action we have been created. I think it will go whenever we refresh. Yeah, now you see it's a type definition is ready to start. So first of all, what we need to do after doing that one, we need to create that our counter slice is happening here. So we need to create that our actual slice, which will give a name of a badger slice. So I'm just gonna go in a good way. In here, what I am gonna do, another file which will be our badger slice.js, and first we need to import our create slice from our Redux toolkit. And after importing it, actually we need to create our slices over here. First of all, what I want to do, I'm gonna give an initial state which will contain our two, actually one which will be our product data, where we can save all of the products we want, and then there will be another which will be user info. It will be only one, so by default we are going to keep it null. So whenever the info will be available, we will make it the way it's supposed to be. And now we need to do export const, and that will be our badger slice, and that one it will take from that create slice, and it will take an object as a parameter. And first we're gonna need to give a name, and that name it will be badger. And also we will first of all we will give that initial state, and then we're gonna create the reducers. That first reducers, it will be add to cart, and that reducer it gonna take one as a state, and another it will take action, two parameter it gonna take. And first of all, like we will make the const item, not the item actually, like we'll just make that state dot product data equal to action dot payload. So that state dot product data is whatever is that, it will be whatever we gonna pass that with that action, it will be that action dot payload. I'm gonna make understand one, then I'm gonna just go through it a bit fast on that. And now we are declaring our add to cart as reducer. So then we need to export that one, and then we will export that our add to cart, and that it will be from that badger slice, and it will be the actions we are exporting. So all the actions it will be concurring. and by default also we need to export something, and that default we are going to export the budget slice dot, it will be dot reducer. So now that reducer will be available, but first of all in this store we need to initialize that store. So what we actually need to do to initialize that store, in that store we need to import that one like as we need to import as a, not that, it will be budget reducer, and it will be from budget slice. So now we are having that reducer we need to implement over here, and to implement that one I'm gonna just go and give a name over here which will be budget, and that will contain the budget reducer. So now it will be available over here. As you see, if we refresh over here, that action parameter, I believe we can see now we have two parameter, which is product data is now like an array, and we have user info. So now what we need to do, actually we need to initialize that add to cart. Okay, so whenever we're gonna use that add to cart, we can use the product, we can add the product in the cart. So now where is our product line? Okay, we have our product in our product cart, right? From here we are taking all the products available. First of all, we can actually create over here add to cart. Remember, as we go over here add to cart, whenever we click on that we can actually add the product, and to add the product we need to that dispatch function. So let me just go and get rid of all of that. So over here I'm gonna make const dispatch, I'm gonna use that use dispatch from the React Redux. So now what I want, whenever I am gonna click on that add to cart in that p tag, on click, whenever I'm gonna click on that, I am going to dispatch an action, and that action it will be add to cart, and that you need to import in top level. I'm just auto importing. If you didn't see the import, just import manually. And that add to cart which also contain another parameter which will go through an object, and with that object what I am going to do, I'm going to go and pass that variable. I'm gonna pass the ID as the product ID, title as product title, image as product image, price it will be product price, quantity one, description which will be the product description. So now if we go over here, of course I will open the inspect over here, go to Redux, and now as you see we have all are empty, right? So whenever I click in that add to cart, you see we have one product data. If we click another, that data is replacing. But remember what we like to do, we need to keep that product. Whenever we are getting one product, we need to keep that. So how we do that? To do that we will go to our budget slice, and over here we will pass the condition. Okay, for passing that condition, first of all we need to get the item, available item, like const it will be the item, and that item it will be state dot like the product data dot find. So it's gonna find all the available item inside that product data. Okay, and that item dot id equal to I think 3 action dot payload. Payload. So that will be our item. So what it gonna do, it gonna going through to state dot product data, it will go loop through all the product data is available, and then it gonna find the item as a item dot id equal to action dot payload. So if whatever the items we are sending, if that item dot id is equal to that product, if there is any product data available, product dot id is available, it's gonna pass that same id. So now we can pass a condition over here. If there is an existing item, whichever item we click, if that item is available, what it gonna do, item dot quantity, it gonna just give that quantity that action dot payload dot quantity. If there is an item available, it will just increase that item quantity. Otherwise what it gonna do, because right now what we are doing, oops, it will go up. Yeah, right now what we are doing, we are just giving an equal to, but it will not going to equal. What it gonna do, it gonna do like state.productData.push, because it's an array, so it will just push that action.payload inside that array. Like if we save that one, and now if we go and add some product, you see that is empty. So let's click, and as you see, we have a product available. We click another one available, but now you see the same ID 14. So I want to add another product on that, the same product, and I believe, yeah, because something wrong, we didn't okay, if that product is available, I think I missed that item dot quantity. I think I miss with the name something. Yes, sometimes it's that naming problem. So just refresh that one. We're gonna add one product over here, ID 20. That similar product we're gonna add again. Oops, it's not giving me that portion, so I think it's somewhere I'm making a mistake. And the mistake, it's over here, because we give that payload, but it will not be that only payload, it will match with the ID, because it's finding that data according to that ID. So now we are having that. Now if we add one product which have ID of like the 19, if the same product we add now, as you see, is increasing the quantity, not the item. So now we can actually, yeah, now we can add the items properly. So from here we can add the items, but we need to see it in our actually in the header card image. We need to see that item, and to see that how we can do it, let's go to our header portion, and inside that header portion we can make that const oops, I'm just gonna grab those one. Actually we can use selector to see the available product items from there in the store. We need to import also use selector from there. So now we have that product data, and from that product data is giving the state, and available product data is just passing. So if we make that console.log and we just put that product data, I believe we can be available to see all the product data. Now you see there is an array and it's giving the product data. And now what we will do in here, remember we are giving a hardcode value which is 0. So now here what I am gonna go, product data dot length. So now as you see we have 3 product data. So as you see, if we refresh, it will go, because we need to save it to our persist reducer, which we're gonna do it later. So now as you see, we have items available over here. So we have 4 item, 5 item. Now whenever we click, we need to pass the same value from over here. Like we need to also be available to add the product from here. So to do that, we need to go to our product where we are giving that value. So in that product, it's not only give, actually we can also increase our quantity from here, right? So to implement first, let's go to get a base quantity. I'm just going to get a value over here which will contain our base quantity of 1, and that quantity I am gonna just implement there. We have the quantity, that's the quantity. We just make hard-coded 1. So it will be base quantity. So now we have that quantity. So in that button, what I am going to do, just like in the top, in the +1, I will make an on-click function, and that on-click function, it will just make set base quantity. Oops, yeah, base quantity. It will be like base quantity +1. So it will increase the base quantity +1. And in here also, what I'm gonna make another function, it will make set base quantity, and it will make that base quantity -1. So as you see, if I add, the quantity is going on over here, but if I reduce, it should not reduce below 1. So there we need to give a condition. So set base quantity, what the condition we gonna give, If that base quantity is equal to 1, then that base quantity will be 1, otherwise it will be base quantity minus 1, the simple configuration. So now if I just make a refresh, yeah, now I add. Now if you see, after 1 I cannot reduce, so now whenever I add to cart, I need to pass that base quantity also. So the similar way to pass an product in the store, to save it, I need to make that dispatch, and we're gonna, oops, it will be equal to, we're gonna use dispatch from the React Redux. And what we gonna pass actually, it will be here, I think, yeah, add to cart. We will pass an on-click function, and that on-click function, we're gonna dispatch an action, and that dispatch will be add to cart, and also that gonna pass some value, and that value will be add to cart value. Oops, not add to cart, because we are adding already add to cart, and we will just need to pass the product value. The product's detail will be id, title, details.title, image, that same image, details.image, because remember we are passing that product as details, so we need to pass the details, and the quantity, which will be the base quantity. So now let's save, let's open our inspection, check with the Redux, because we need to check how many quantity is going to get. So let's add like 5 piece of item, add to cart, item is added, and as you see, the item quantity, it will be 5, so that's working just fine. So now also we need to add our Tostify, remember, because we are using that React-tostify to give us the messages. So let's go to add that React-tostify, and we just need to install that one over here. So after installing, also we need to, let's see what is required. I believe, let's go to their home page. We need to use that, we need to also import that one in our index.css to let the CSS work from there, so that will work. You can go through the React-tostify in their main page and try to understand the required portion you need, but for now I am just going to go and grab the one I am using. So first of all, I need to use a toast container over here to get my Tostify to work, and also I need to import that toast container and toast, which will giving us the message from that Tostify. Now what kind of message I want to pass, like whenever I am passing that items over here, oops, where is my items, where am I, oops, I made a mistake, it will not be here in the header. Actually I am doing it in the header, it's supposed not to be there, it should be in my products, yeah, that would be here. It's a mistake, so let's go. Also I'm gonna close my header. In here I'm gonna take my toast container, and also I am going to import the same thing, that toast container and toast. So now whenever I am passing that data over here, okay, also I am gonna pass another function which will give us toast.success, you know, toast.success, and that success, what it gonna give us as a functional parameter, because I want to get the name of that product. So the product name, it will be like details.title, it will be the name, details.title, and then what it will say is added. So now it gonna give us me a Tostify. So let's go and grab another products, this product, include some, add, you see, jacket with woolen hat is added. The same Tostify also I need to add it in our product card, because also I am passing items from there, remember. So to add that products card, okay, that's the product, also need to import that, and in here I'm gonna just go grab that portion, Oops, details is not available because it will be the product, the different name. Just be careful. So now in home, whenever we are adding a card, oops, yeah, that's our product available. Now whenever we click, we need to have a card page. Remember, we have a card page, so we will go to our header, and in header we have that card available over here. What I am going to do, I'm gonna put that in a link, and that link, it will be card. So whenever I click, I need to have that card page. So now inside that card page, we need to have our card product. So before that, also what I am going to do, I'm going to just go and make all the necessary arrangement for our budget slice. So what I am going to do, we have add to cart, and also I'm gonna introduce another two, which will be the two, one will be like delete from cart. This add to cart will start from here. It will be another one, delete item, and would another, like it will be delete one item. It will go to state and dot product data, and in state dot product data, it will filter whatever item we have, including that item. It gonna get that action dot payload, and it will just remove that item. Whenever we click on receipt, it will remove all the product from there. And also we're gonna have an increment and decrement, which we're gonna implement. That too also we're gonna implement here. And also, yeah, so this, I think that yeah, for right now that much. So I'm just gonna just import that from here. Okay, so now that is available. So as you see, now in the cart page, actually we need to access the product from here, from our store. So let's go to cart page, and as you see, if we go to our cart page, we have one particular image over here. I'm just gonna grab some products to see how it will looks like. Okay, so as you see, it looks like that. That's the things we need to create. So let's go to cart page. Actually we don't have a product to edit, so let's also grab some products in here. Okay, so now we can actually work with that product. So first of all, let's go to our cart page. I'm gonna close everything related others and pages. That is our cart page. And the same way I took the data in that header, I'm gonna use that use selector to access all the data. I believe it's not giving me that use selector. So what I am gonna do, I'm gonna import here. So now I have the product data. If I make that console.log, I'll be available to see the product data. So I have that product data, which includes 3 data. So now I need to create that top image over here, which will contain everything. In that div, I'm gonna take an or I will do one thing, because I'm just gonna go and grab that image to see a little bit better. Now I have that image, the same thing which we have been doing, that one over there. Now what I am gonna do after that, below on that, I have that product data. So product data dot map, and in that map, actually, yeah, product data dot map, what I am gonna do, actually I am just, okay, I'm gonna do it later. First of all, I need to create 2 sections to see how it will work. Actually, instead of passing the data from here, I'm not gonna take it right now. What I will do, actually, I'm gonna take an component which will pass the card item.js RAFCE. So now, because I want to make everything in a single component, because it will be easy for me to track. So now over here in that card, after that image, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go and grab, over here I'm gonna take a div, and there I'm gonna take that card item. So now as you will see, product data is not defined because this I am making console, which not required. So now I have that card item, and in that card item I will make that portion over here. This will coming from the card item, and this will be on that page stick around. So these two things we're gonna create. So first of all, to create that, actually first of all, before creating that card item, I'm gonna create that other portion which we have over here. Let's go make a div, and that div I'm gonna just go and grab some class name for that, which I'm gonna give a width of 1/3 and other things, because I'm gonna give a width of 2/3 for that product item. And now over here inside that div, I'm gonna get another div because I'm giving a background over there also. And inside that div I'm gonna giving an h2 which will be card totals. And you see I am going to create that portion first, this portion first, then I'm gonna go and grab the other portion. Okay, so now, and after creating that portion also, remember this overall proportion, this one we need to also go and grab some class name for that, otherwise it will not looks good. So over here I'm gonna just make it a max width of screen axle mx auto, and giving a padding in y axis and giving a flex direction. So this will be our that portion. And also for that card item, because if I not give that width and height, it will not looks that much better. So this one, it will be that. As you see, this portion is okay. There is also background is working. So now for that card portion over here, after also I think in our h2 tag, I'm just go and grab some class name for it, and also that our entire div, because this takes only the designing, so you feel free to go each and every portion and then you will understand better. I don't want to kill much more time on that. So after that h2 tag I will be having another one, like after that p tag I'm gonna having that subtotal, and for the subtotal we still don't have the total amount, so I'll just make an fragment of 200, just a default kind of sort of things. As you see, we have the subtotal, and after the subtotal we need to have the shipping and then the total. So now after that p tag I'm also going to grab that shipping address, which will be available over here, address. So it will be our shipping, and after that shipping we will have another, like, yeah, we have that shipping available over here. Now we need to get the total item, and the total item will be after that div, which will contain a p tag, and that p tag will give us the total amount, which we still don't have the total amount. We're gonna calculate it later. Like, I'm just gonna paste it manually over here. And also that p tag, which will contain some class name over here. As you see, this is our total, and then we need to make the proceed to checkout button. So we're gonna have another button over here, and that button, button which will proceed to checkout, and that proceed to checkout button also gonna get some class name. So now we have that fragment is done. Now we need to create that card item. And to create the card item, we need to introduce our items over here. As you see, we have the items available. Remember, before we already check over here. So in the card item, we can actually access the item same the way we did beforehand. We will use that one, use selector to get the all available items from our card. So now we have the card items available over here. And now, first of all, I will make a div which is going to make the class name with a full. It's gonna take, and inside the div, first of all, I will give the title, and the title will be shopping card. And also for that title, I'm gonna just go grab some class name giving the title font and also text to Excel. So now we have the shopping cart. We need to now get the actual shopping items over here. So now after that div, we're gonna take another div, and now remember we have that product data, and product data dot map. We will take the item, and that item we're gonna return a div, and inside that div, first of all, I am going to return an icon which will be in the div, which will contain the image and icon. So let's go, and it will be md, or I am just going to grab that icon from there. I'll grab whatever the icons is necessary. First one, it will be md outline close. So that's the icons we're gonna use first. So as you see, you will see 3 icons available. So first of all, after that icon, because in that proportion of the div, we need to give a keyword which will contain the item.id, and then we're gonna make a flex item center just in between, giving a gap to make it work. And also for that icon, you need to go and grab some class name for it to make it just looks little bit better. I believe this is the icon we are giving. Actually, yeah. So now as you see, our icons looks better. And after that icon, below that icon, we're gonna give also one image, like that icon is finished over here. Now we're gonna pass that image, and that image will be our item.image that contains. And as you see the image popping up, now we need to make it in a flexible way. So to do that, class name, it will be flex item center, and the gap, it will be 2. After doing that, you see our image is ready. So now after having that image, we need to sort out the things whatever is required. Now after that div, we're gonna have 2 more div, one h2 tag, one p tag, which will contain the item.title and item.price. You see those things is available over here. I believe we're missing something. Yeah, we need to actually use that price and item.title, item.price. Then we will have to, because we make it in justify between, so it's getting all the available spaces. So now after that too, what we need to do, item.quantity text sm item.quantity, so it will be the quantity. Yes, that quantity. I believe that quantity, it will be in a way, it will be inside a div. Remember the same thing actually we did beforehand. You can just go and copy that one, it will work just fine. Remember we created that portion over here. If we go over here in the details, the same thing, the same portion actually we are working right now. So feel free to copy that one, and it will just work similarly, the same functional way. So I'm just gonna go and grab those things from our and for right now, what I am gonna do, I am gonna just mute that on click function. Okay, we're gonna add that function later on to just let it be work. So now as you see, dispatch and set quantity. Okay, one, and that will just remove that. Oops, it will not be there. Yeah, as you see, we have that quantity, and after that quantity we have that total price. So also we need to add that because that is the giving the single price. Whenever we add the quantity, it will give the actual price. So these things we need to add that one, that actual price. And to do that, after that div where is finished, we need to get that price, and that price, it will be item.quantity into item.price. So now this price will be available, but the space is not enough. It's because we need to go to in our top level, we need to sort out some of the things which need to require for that. Let's find us what is the important. To find out the problem, I believe we made a mistake in somewhere. As you see, that div is contain all the quantity. Yeah, okay, we need to keep that outside of the div, and if we do that, so now that is working just fine. So whenever we click on that button, we need to also introduce another another. Remember, we have the budget slice we are using over here, which is the delete item. So whenever we click on that actual item, it will delete that particular item. So we need to create that one over here. And to create that one, actually we need to dispatch some action over here. So let's go to our cart, where we are keeping that icon. So let's go to our cart. Oops, not here, in the cart item, and I think it's in the cart. Yeah, it's in the cart totals. Inside the cart item, we are having that one. Yes, that button close tag is available over here. So whenever we are clicking on that button close, it gonna dispatch that action. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that dispatch from there. It will be const dispatch, use dispatch, and now whenever I am gonna click on that button close, remember it gonna give us an on click event, and that on click event, it will give us that dispatch, and that dispatch, it will be delete item. It's not giving me the pop-up. Did we implement that one over here? Let's go to budget slice. Did we? Okay, we implement that one, delete item. So yeah, now it's giving. So delete item, and that one, it will also passing that item dot id. So it will pass that item dot id, which will be available to root through and delete that item. And also I will make that toast dot error, which will give us a red line mark, and what it's gonna pass that to that particular item. Toast dot error, that particular item is removed. So now if we just the toast, of course we need to get the toast container and everything, and to get that one we need to just go to and grab the toast container, and also we need to grab another, which will be, we need to import that toast container. Now as you see, oops, toast is not defined in the card item. Okay, that is the, oh, again the same mistake, we supposed to paste that one. No problem, we also need that one over that page. Now as you see, if we click, the compact fashion t-shirt is removed, but there will be another icon which will be available for receipt all the items from the card. Okay, so also we need to create that icon, so whenever we click, it will we can receive all the items from there. So to do that in the card, actually not in the card item, so in the card we need to create that. I believe, yeah, it will be in the card, but it will be in the card item. Okay, so let's go to card item, and after that I think quantity and price is finished over here, and this portion is finishing over here. So now actually we can take it over here. We will introduce one button which will be like receipt card, and also we're gonna go and grab some class name for that card to looks it better. So receipt card, and as you see we have that receipt card. Whenever we click on that receipt card, it gonna also give us one thing which we have in the budget slice. It will, what it will do, it will make our card empty, product data, it will be empty. So to do that, implement that one in our over here, I'm gonna use one on click event, and that on click event also it gonna take that dispatch portion, dispatch, and it will just declare that receipt card. It will declare that, and also it gonna get our that tostify event, which will mention that toast.error, or yeah, that your card is empty. So now if we click over here, your card is empty but nothing has been removed. And why is not removed? Let's go and see. Receipt card, yeah, it's because we need to go and get it over here. We are putting that outside of our error boundary. So now is receipts, it's available now. So now if you go to Badger, and also if we just add some of the items, we can remove one by one or we can remove all together. And also there will be another which will give us go shopping. So what I am gonna do, I'm just gonna go and grab that one over here, and after that receipt button I'm gonna paste it over here. So this one will give us that portion. So it will take us to the also we need to import that link from React router DOM. It's not giving me that auto import link from React router, React router DOM. So now it will be available. We can actually go to shopping, yes, and also add to cart. So now actually we need to have that available like the data over here. See, we have actually we need to implement that one, that quantity to be imported over here also. And to do that, actually we have it already here, that on click function which will be dispatch increment. It gonna dispatch all the, like it gonna, what it gonna do, it gonna pass all the value, and also it gonna dispatch the item over there. And also that one is the similar one. You feel free to go and discover it more, because if I make you understand one by one, it will take a lot of time. So now whenever we see the price is changing, but our this one is not changing because it's the hard coded. So what we need to do in here, in I think it will be in the card items, yeah. So now let's see, that is the here where we give that. So now here what we gonna do, we're gonna make that item dot quantity. So now as we click, the item will change. See, item change, and 5 into 5 to 50, and also is changing. So now we are changing that item, but we need also the total amount. Okay, and to get the total amount, we will, what we will do actually, we will go over here in the card item. Here we're gonna take the total amount from there. First of all, we need to get that item from there, like the product, overall product, and then we're gonna make an state where it will take total amount and set total amount. First of all, we need to get the total amount. So we will make an use effect, because it will constantly change the amount. So, and that here we're gonna make the price equal to, it will be the 0 price, initial price. And now what I'm gonna do, product data dot map, it will take an item and initializing that item. What I am gonna do, I'm gonna make a plus price plus minus that item dot price, it will be into multiply with that item dot quantity, item dot quantity. And what it gonna do, it gonna return the price. And of course I need to be make it an empty string, and it will change whenever the product data will be available. And also if we just make that console.log and make that I believe the price, just to check the price, I think use state is not defined, so we need to import that one from React. Oops, console.log. I again make a mistake, console dot, it will not be log, it will be the log. So now I believe I will see that total amount available over here 705. If I add another item is 702. Footer dot, I think from the footer something is coming. Let's go to footer, and no, nothing is coming from footer actually. What is that? Blue jeans. it's coming from the card actually, or footer.js 27. Okay, we'll see later on that one. 27. Oops. Let's refresh that one. Okay, it's coming from the header. So let's go and add some products. Okay, it's coming from the header, so there is something. Maybe we make the console here, product data. Let's, oops, it will be only that portion. So now in the card item, I believe in the card item or card, yeah. So now we can actually see the price available over here if we add something. And if we go to our card, you see we can see the actual total price. That total price we need to just paste it over here. So now we have the total price. What we will do, we will just make it as a set total amount. Okay, so now that total amount we can access over wherever we want to give. So now here we will just make that set total amount, and also I believe another one somewhere. Okay, so now as you see, yeah, now we have that total amount available over here. Just put a gap. Okay, so now we can actually see the amount the way we supposed to be. We can click, it's going, it's removing, also is deciding to remove. And another things actually is good to go, because what I am gonna do, I'm gonna just make that two fixed, because if there is after like 3-4 items after that mark, it gonna give, yeah, so it's giving a little bit good classy. Okay, now whenever we refresh, that things is going, and it's because we need to use that persist reducer, so that redux persist. What I am gonna do, persist. So that things I am gonna use to make it looks, it will be saved in our local storage, same like the local storage, but it will be managed by the Redux toolkit, not in the local storage. So this, oops, sorry, it will be npm I need to install that one. And what we need to do also, we need to import that persist storage, and that persist get, we will use that one in our index.js file. So in our over here in the card, not in the card, oops, it will be in the store. We need to import those things available over here. And after importing that one, what we need to do actually, also we need to import persist get not required. We need that persist config over here, config, that config. And then also what we need to do, we need to use that const persist reducer over here. So we will, I believe it will be, no, it will be the same const persist reducer. It will not be the root reducer, it will be budget reducer. And also after that, see that reducer, after that configure store, I'm gonna just go and grab everything from there. I'm gonna pass it that, and in here in the persist, I'm gonna pass that budget reducer we are creating, and that budget reducer, it will take all the persist reducer we have over here. That persist reducer it gonna take over here. And now what we need to do, we need to export that one, that it can be accessed from our main file. So export let persistor, it will be our persistor reducer. So now over here in the persist store, in our, I believe it will be in our index.js, what we need to do, we need to import that persist get, that one. So let's go and grab that persist get over here. Now we need to wrap everything over here, like our that provider is giving our store. So in app, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna modify that one over here, and that persistor we will import from our redux store file. And here what I am gonna do, I'm gonna give a loading portion. Whenever it has the loading, it will be loading, otherwise it gonna give the persistor, and that persistor it gonna take the persistor we are having, that one. Oops, why it's not taking? I think, okay, oh, I take actually 2. That loading, it will finish over here. So now I believe it will be work in real time, and it will save all the data over here. So just add a bit. Okay, now if we have the item, we refresh, but that item remain the same. It's not going, you see, it's stay in the real time. So we can actually remove, and also we can reset all the card. So, and also now as you see over here, whenever we receive, there is a message. Feel free to go and explore how you can implement that one. It's your homework. Okay, there's some little small thing which you can really feel free to go and make with a designable one. So now we need to create our logging page, and to create the logging page, our store is down in the pages. What we're gonna do, we're gonna create logging.js rafce. So now our logging page we need to create, and of course we need to go to our app.js. We need to create a route for our logging page. The path, it will be login, and the element, it will be login. And what I am gonna do, I'm gonna go in header portion, and over here you see we have one image, and that image we're gonna link through that image, and that link, it will be login. Oops, it will mistake. So now whenever we come over here, we click, it's taking us to the logging page. So it's time to create that logging page, and that's a simple page creating, nothing more of that much mambo jumbo over here. So now what I am gonna do, actually I am gonna take that tool logo which I'm using for my logging proportion pages, and now over here I will take, inside that one div, I'm gonna take another div, and inside that div I'm gonna take an image. Oops, it will not be img, it will be there, image, and first one, it will be Google logo. So I believe you will see too much big logo is available over here, so I'm gonna just reduce the width. I'll give a width of 8 to make it looks little bit better. So now this is our logging page available over here. So what I am gonna do, in the top label of the div, I'm gonna go grab some class name, just a normal similar class name I'm giving, and also in that div over here I'm gonna go and give some class name. As you see, it's in the middle and it looks better, because whenever I will sign in, it will give me as a sign out page also. So that's why I need to create a 2 separate one. So over here, after the image, what I have one span tag which giving is sign in with Google. As you see, it's giving me that portion over here. But right now what I need to do, actually, in the div, in the top level of the div which is acquiring, I'm gonna just take everything inside a div, and now in that div I'm gonna just go and grab some class name. So it's just giving a width and height and just making a little bit design. Now you see, whenever I'm hovering, it's giving a blue color over here. And after that also I'm gonna need to add another button, and after that div I'm gonna adding one button, and that button will be give us sign out. So you see the sign out is available, and that sign out will be requiring to handle the sign out button over here. Oops, yeah, and also I'm going to give some class name for it. Now I have the sign out button. Now you see this div is concurring that 2. Actually I can make this 2, so it will be the 2 div, and for that I'm gonna give that GitHub logo, and also for that one it will be sign in with GitHub. the same simple setup which gonna be happen. So now we need to create that login authentication, and for that we need to go through our Firebase. Go to Firebase. It's the normal setup which we can make it. We need to just, I will go to console because I already have that started things. So now I need to create a project. So let's go and create Badger app. Yeah, let's continue, and I'm now needing that enable analytics for over here. It will just take a bit of time. Feel free to take your time and create that project. Okay, and actually it will show us what you need to do to implement that everything required for your project and how you can go step by step for that. So let's continue, and now let's go to project setting. As you see, actually we need to go over here. So I'm gonna give that same name, Badger app, register app. So, and that Firebase hosting, I'm not requiring that one. Now I am using the npm, so I need to install that one in my project. So let's go and install the Firebase, and now I need to import that one. So what I am gonna do, in the source file, like in the source, I'm gonna create another file which will be firebase dot config.js. You can give any name you like, it doesn't matter. So now over here I am gonna use that application to initialize my app, and also now I am I am gonna export that one from here, that application, because I need to apply that one in my app, not app, in my index.js. So I am exporting that one, and now in here I need to add that one to my application. Same way that I'm giving store as a provider, I will also need to pass that app as in that way. So let's go and let's import app from Firebase app, and now here that app, it will contain our app. So now I can actually initialize the Firebase authentication right now. As you see, the things is giving me that fundamental idea how I can authenticate. So now as you can see over here, again we need to go to continue to console, and in the build we will go to authentication, and inside the authentication we need to implement something which will give us the access for the Google login. So now in Google we will just enable that one. Now there is a project ID, everything is available over here. You can just go and feel free, but right now I actually am not needing that SDK configuration. So now if we go to Firebase, actually I'm gonna go to documentation over here, and from here I'm gonna go to build documentation. And now in authentication, what I want for the web, I want that Google authentication, which now you feel free to go through each and every single element over here, because whatever I am gonna apply, it's everything from here. Okay, so feel free to go and understand. Okay, so for our project, what I am gonna do, actually I'm gonna create one function over here which will contain overall in that div. On here, on click, it will be like handle Google login. So let's go over here, handle Google login. Now I need several things from the Google. What is that? First of all, I need that a Google Auth provider, and also I need that because I want to sign it with the pop-up. So Google Auth provider get auth sign in with pop-up, and I also need the sign out. So first of all, I need to implement that auth, like const auth equal to, it will be get auth. Okay, so now I'm gonna make that e dot prevent default, and also I'm gonna see my auth if I have any auth available for my project, if it's actually working or not. I can check in that way. So let's go to our application. So whenever I will click with the sign in with Google, I can see my auth available over here. As you see, I have my auth, I have everything available. These are the data is required. Okay, so this one will give me the access, and that auth is accessing because I am wrapping my entire application with that app. Remember, and that app is coming firebase.config.js, so my application can access that one pretty much very easily. So first of all, what I am gonna do in here, again I'm saying all the things, I'm getting that documentation, because if you just feel free to go and read everything, you will pass it over there. This is only from that documentation. And now what I need to do, I need to get the provider also after the auth, and that provider also I am going to get from the provider, new Google auth provider, that is giving me the provider option. And now what I am gonna do, I will make the sign in with pop-up, which will take my auth and also take the provider. So these two will be taken from there, and dot, it will be then what it gonna do, it gonna give us a result after it's having that login setup. So that result, actually, let me see. No, I think I am making a mistake. Let's go back to our again. So it will be that sign in with pop-up, which will contain the auth, then it will give us the result. Actually, there is one thing I need to consider, because those things after result it gonna give that action, so I need to keep it in that way. So now we are having that result and that const user, now yeah, giving the result. So the const user, it will be result.user, whatever result is coming. Okay, so now what it gonna do, that will give me that user, and after that it gonna also catch, and that catch, it will catch the error. What it gonna do, if there is an error, it gonna give console.log error. First it's gonna create the user, so also we're gonna make console.log, we're gonna see our user, which user is available. So to do that, let's go to our application over here, remove everything, click it. Oh, it's giving me the pop-up, and now it's the auth operation not allowed, so I made something wrong. Okay, let's go what is showing over here. Actually, we're gonna follow up with that. Let's see first of all that get auth, so we're gonna go through over it. Let's see if we can actually manage that one. So this is the thing is going over there, and I'm gonna just making console.log user, and also console.log error if there is an error. So let's just refresh that one. Let's go sign in. Oops, Firebase error, auth operation not allowed, so something is missing here. Actually, I think we are facing that complication because it's not, our authentication is not finished properly, because as you see, we have the sign in method. If we see the Google, it's not yet enabled because we need to give an email. So first of all, I'm going to give my email. Okay, keep it the same email. Now saving it, I think now it will give us that authentication to work in that way, because it's not yet activated beforehand. So let's see. Yeah, now our auth provider is activated. So what I am gonna do, because previously whatever we did, that is right, so there is nothing wrong with that. It's gonna giving us the pop-up and everything, and console.log error and everything, so that is just fine. So now we will go again. Let's just wrap it again and make it okay. Now as you see, I am getting that, and now we are having our user, we are having everything. And first of all, also we need to create that sign out, so we can also remove the user whenever we require. And to make that sign out, the same setup we need to create. I'm going to remove that one from here, because as you see, if we just refresh, we will see an user. As you see, we're seeing the user is available over here. So I'm going to remove from it from the Firebase. Now I need to work over here. So we will create that sign out portion. So in the sign out, what is gonna happen, so whenever we will click that sign out button, we're gonna click create that one, and that is the simple one. It will happen the same one, the same way it could be possible. Whenever we make the handle sign out, it will sign out everything, and also it will show us. Actually, I'm not gonna use that one right now because I'm not saving it. So it will show us a message that sign out successfully, and the toast and toastifier, which is always making a problem. Let's get that one. So that one over here, and also I need to import that toastify for the toast over here. So now I think we'll be fine. If we make sign out, logged out successfully, and if we refresh, we will not see any user authentication. So now actually if we just click, we can sign in again. Okay, so now whenever we sign in, actually we need to pass that user in our Redux. See, remember we have 3 portion over here which contain that user info. We need to pass that one as the user info so we can access that one over there. So first of all, we will make it sign out again, and we need to create that 2 piece of state in this budget slice, and that 2 state which will contain that. I'm just gonna go grab and give those things here. So after that decrement, we're gonna just give that add user, which will be state.userinfo, it will be user, and whenever remove user, the state.userinfo, it will be none. The simple way. First we will keep it, then we will just remove it from there. And also for the 2, I need to pass that add user and remove user from there. So now our that one is ready, and we need to implement that one with the login. And whenever we are having that user, actually remember we are making console.log user. So what I'm gonna do in here, let's go and grab our dispatch. Am I in the right place or making it something wrong? So let's go and grab that dispatch from somewhere. Okay, we are having the dispatch, and also we need to import that dispatch. Now it's not suggesting, so import use dispatch React router DOM. So now we are having that use dispatch. Now we need to implement that one. So whenever we have a user, actually what we're gonna do, we're gonna dispatch as action, and that dispatch will contain that add user. Did we save that one? Yeah, we saved that one. So add user, and inside that user we're gonna pass an object, and that object, remember, which you are getting that ID, it will be that user.uid, and name will be the user.display name, email the user email, and image that will be the same. So now we are having that one, and also what we're gonna do after having that one, also we're gonna make a parameter which will be a set timeout, and that set timeout, which what it will give us, that it will navigate us. So also we need to import that navigate. Use navigate. Okay, what it gonna do, it gonna navigate to us in the home page, and that navigation will happen after 1.5 seconds. So it will be 1500 milliseconds. So it gonna give us navigate over there. So now if we go over here, the use dispatch is having some issue. Import as dispatch. Where is the use dispatch? Okay, imported it was not found at React router DOM. Okay, so dispatch, it will be use dispatch. It's a little bit of minor complication. If we go over here, so that dispatch actually we need use dispatch. PATCH, also DISPATCH. Okay, that's tricky. Let me see what's happening there. Actually, I think that is pretty much right, because that dispatch we will not get from the React router DOM. Actually, that dispatch will coming from our React Redux. Okay, so that is the problem is facing. So from it will be React Redux. Yes, because of that issue, it's giving me that complication. Now dispatch is not defined. We need to define that, because I believe I previously removed that. So dispatch. Okay, so now it will be just fine. So we have that dispatch. So let's go over here, and now if we just log in, and after within 1.5 you're getting in the same position. So now also if we just inspect with that, I believe our user will be available. As you see, user info, we're having our user info. And now if we just go over here, sign out, and you will see if we just refresh, it will go, because there is other things is available. User info is actually holding the previous user info. I don't know what this one. Yeah, so that one, as you see, user info, it will be empty. If we just hit refresh again, payload, product data, user info, and that user info, it will be empty. Yeah, so now it's working much fine. So now let's log in again to get the data. Okay, so after login, actually we need to get the data in the header portion, right, to see that data actually our user is available or not. So let's close it. Let's go to our header portion, because here actually we will see. Now to get the user info, we're gonna just set up that user info over here, same the way we're gonna get that product data, and we will make that console.log user info to see if that user info is available. Inspect, let's go to our console, and you see it's passing an object, and that object giving us the user info, image, name, and email. So whatever is we have been required for. So now what I am gonna do, remember we are also passing a name over here after that image. So whenever we're gonna having that actually over here, yes, we're gonna pass like user info, and if the user info is available, we will passing it p tag, and that p tag will contain that user info dot name. It means the username, it will be available. As you see, the name is available over here now, because we have the user. So let's go and give that p tag some of the class name which is required, and it looks better. And also we need to change that image. So how we can do make the changes in the source? Actually we're gonna change. First of all, I'm gonna cut that source image, and in that parameter I'm gonna make a condition user info. If there is an user info, it will be user info dot image, and if there is no user info, what it gonna take the default image. So now my image, it will be available over here. Now if we go to here and just sign out, oops, sign out is not taking, because remember we are not, I believe we didn't create that sign out. Actually we create, okay, sign out we create, but we are not removing the data from there. That is actually causing the problem. So first of all, what we need to do after setting that sign out successfully, also we need to create a dispatch function, and in that dispatch what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make that remove user, and done. So it's gonna remove the user from there. Yeah. So that one was making the problem. Like if we sign in again, and sign in with that account. And you see I have that all the information and it's taking me to there. Now if we go over here, sign out, it just sign out and everything going out of the way. So first of all, we need to create a portion. Remember over here, whenever we are having an item, like let's just add some of the item from there. We are having the item. So now whenever we click, if it's not signed in, it will give us an error that you need to sign in to, like you need to sign in to proceed for checkout, right? So let's go and create that piece of state. First of all, we need to get the user in our cart page. So let's go to cart page, and same way the product data, we will get our user info data. So now it's very easy to make that one. What I am gonna do, I'm gonna take an over here proceed to checkout. I'm gonna make an on click function, handle checkout, and here let's make const handle checkout. Like if user info is available, okay, that user info is available, it will make what I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna take to state which will be like pay now, and like it will, if user info is not available, it will give that pay now is false, otherwise it will be true. By default it will be false. It will make set pay now, it will make it as true, and else what it gonna make, else it gonna give us an toast error. I believe I already take that tostify from there, so it will make a toast error. So now as you see, if we just go and over here sign out, I think we already sign out. If we check, it will say please sign in to checkout. So now it's time to take our Stripe payment to take it in a further level. So what I am gonna do, actually I'm gonna initialize our Stripe payment checkout. So first of all, to do that, let's go to Stripe payment checkout component, and in npm there is a new version for that, and it's very delicate. I'm gonna introduce that one in our next project, which is coming in very big. So just to say to you how it's gonna work, I'm gonna create that one for you. You can feel free to come over here and read everything to understand it better. So first of all, I'm gonna install that one in my project, React Stripe checkout. And now over here, what I am gonna do, because remember whenever that value is available, it's making me that pay now is available, I need to introduce that button. So this under the proceed to button, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna take a function. If the pay now is available, only then it gonna give us a div, and inside that div I'm gonna get Stripe checkout. I think it will not come because I just installed that one. So what I am gonna do, I'm gonna implement it manually, okay, and also whatever I am passing, I'm just gonna popping up. Feel free to go and read the documentation to understand thoroughly. I'm just passing that Stripe checkout. Now here I'm giving a Stripe key. That Stripe key is coming from here. If we go to our Stripe, because I already logged in my Stripe, you just feel free to open an account. Now that is my dashboard, and inside that dashboard I'm gonna having a 2 key. As you see, I have one key, a publishable key, and there is one secret key, and I'm gonna use that secret key to create the token, and that publishable key is, I'm just gonna copy that one over here, and I am gonna add that one over here. That is for my this project build publishable key. And also that token, that token is not available right now. I'm gonna make it for in that way. Email will be user info email, and that amount, and just a little bit the same symphony over here. So if we just refresh, now it's not available because we need to sign in. Let's go to our account, let's make it the Google login. Okay, so now we are signed in. Now if we go to our cards and if we click, now you see pay to budget, it's available. Also we need to make it a little bit designing over here to make it center. Okay, so now it will be in the position. If we click, now even we make that, actually if we inspect, it will not work. I believe we will not receive, because see that token we need to generate, which will coming from the backend. Like if I click on that, that is the default value for there, 34,123, and pay, even is showing it's paid, like around 170 is paid. Like if we go over here in our payments, if we just make it in a way that payment, it will not come, it not receive yet, because we need to generate that token over here, and that token we're gonna get it from our backend, and for that we need to set up our backend server. And to setting up our backend server, remember we have one like I have over here in the browser, we have our client. So now in here I'm gonna open one terminal. Actually I can do it from here, because we need to create our server. I'm gonna take another git bash. So now as see, we have in the client. So now actually we will make mkdir, and that will be server. And now if we see ls, now make cd server, and now we will make npm init. So it will install all the npm server, okay, version okay, description, entry point. I will make that server.js. Okay, everything will be okay, and yes. So now as you see, after the client we have another portion which is server. Now in here I'm gonna make that server.js. If we just make console.log, and I am the server. So now over here, if I make npm start, you will see that I am the server is available. So our server is ready. So now what we need to do, we need to like in the packages, what I am going to do, I'm going to just grab all the packages I'm going to use for that application in that after that license, actually I'm just gonna, or I am gonna do npm I, so it will install the dependencies is required. You see the package.log is available, and so that I am just going to make I'm just going to grab the dependencies I'm gonna use for that application. I'm going to use the body parser course.env express nodemon and stripe for that. So let's save it, and I will make npm I again. So what it gonna do, just go through, search in the npm all the things you can find it, whatever the necessary items, and you will feel free to read it. And for this project, just go with me, you will find it, everything is required, whatever is that. So now in that server, what we need to do, we need to import the express. So express, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna require, and it will require that express from the express. And now const app, it will be express. Okay, and also I want to use the course, because I'm gonna taking that data from the backend to font it, so I don't want to make any course problem. So I'm gonna use that course. It will be require course. And now what actually I want, that's coming from the express app.get, and it will be request that will be hello world, and also I'm gonna give that app.listen, and that listen, actually in here I'm gonna use another file which will be .env, and here I'm gonna declare the port which will be 800. So now over here, first of all, I'm gonna just get that one, I will make that require, and that require, it will be .env, and from there it will be .config. Now I can access actually whatever is item is require. So now I'm gonna use that const port equal to, it will be process.env port. So now our application which is available, it will be listen, it will be listen on the port, and if that port is 8000, and also I'm gonna make a head of the console, which will make console.log, and it will be that server is running on port, and then it will give the port number. And also if we just see over here and pm start, and you will see server is running on port 8000. But if we just make another console.log hello, it's not gonna running simultaneously. And to do that, actually what I am gonna do, I'm gonna cut that line and I'm gonna make that start nodemon server.js. and now if we close the server and make npm start, it gonna start properly. So now if we just make any of the changes over here, I make another console, you see that will just get it simultaneously. And first of all, that env file will contain another source of things, which will be our Stripe secret key, because that secret key we will use over here. And to do that, because I don't want you to see my secret key, all the secret key, because it's very delicate, don't show your secret key to anyone. So what I am gonna do in my developers tab, in my front page, I'm gonna just copy my secret key. Oh, I need to give that password. Oops. Okay, now I can copy my secret key and I'm gonna paste it over here. Feel free to paste it wherever you want. I think you see it, doesn't matter, I'm gonna delete it later on, so don't worry if you can see that I'm gonna delete that account. Just feel free, don't show it to anyone. So now I will access that secret key over here in my server. So first of all, also I'm gonna use some piece of step. Let's see, we have this stripe, right? Yeah, we already created that stripe. So now what I am gonna do, I'm gonna get our stripe portion over here, and also I'm gonna use that body parser, because I'm gonna passing the JSON data, so it will not give me a problem. So now what I am gonna do, waiting for file to change before starting. Oops. Okay, there is something wrong. Okay, let's save it. Okay, so the body parser we didn't actually implement. Let's go over here. Okay, first of all we need to import that body parser, and then actually we can use that one. That's why it's just freak out, because we didn't implement that one. So now actually what we need to do, we need to create a router. What is that router? It will be like app.post. We're gonna create a post router, and that router it will be pay. What we need to do actually, it will be an assign function, and it will pass a request and also giving a response. And what it gonna pass, actually you can see the console.log. You can see actually what is passing there. Console.log, it will be request.body.token. We will pass the token. And first of all, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna make await, and it will await for the Stripe. It will go to Stripe, and then it will make the charges, and then it will create a payment indent, and then it will be the source, it will be request.body.token.id, and oops, and the amount, it will be request.body.amount, and also the currency, it will be USD. Okay, now we just create another one payment indent. Now we need to actually connect it to our front end. Now to connect it our front end, actually it's happening in our cart. So I believe we need to go to our cart, and here we will actually get that item from there. So first of all, because we need to give a name for the token, like I'll just give the name as a payment, and that payment, it will be an assign function, and that will take a parameter, and that parameter, it will be token. The token it gonna receive from there. So now it will give an await, and that await, it will be Axios. We need to import that Axios. Oops, why it's not showing us? Did we are not taking the Axios? Okay, I believe okay, let's see and check if we import that Axios or not. Yeah, we have the Axios, so why it's not giving the pop-up? So await and Axios, and from that we're gonna use that Axios to actually post that one, and it will be a post request, and that post request, it will go HTTP, and that one, it will be I believe that one, it will be, if we hit in here in localhost 8000 is our main function which is running over here, and in the pay here we will get that, because it's a post request, it cannot be get. So now here we can get our token. So after getting the token, the parameter, it will be amount, and that amount, it will be total amount, and that total amount, what it gonna be, it because it's calculating in the cents, so we need to give it 100 to calculate in actual proportion, and the token, it will be equal to token. So the token we are passing, it will capture that same token which will be available over here. Okay, oops, it will not be equal, it will be that one. So now we are having our token, and that token we need to pass here as a token over here. That token is as payment. So now is everything is going to be all right. We will be see our payment should be working, and it would be done. So now let's see over here in our badger. Let's go some add more products. Let's go in badger section and also implement some more products, and let's go to our cart and proceed to payment. We are already logged in. Let's go to the badger is 1595.94. so the dummy card which we have from our Stripe, it will be 1234.123. let's pay 1595 will be payment should be done. So now if we go to our payments, just wait a bit. If everything all right, we will see the payment. Nope, didn't receive the payment yet. Let's go to our, yeah, everything is all right over here, but we didn't receive the payment. Nope. So I think there is an issue. Let's check it out. It's supposed to come. Actually, I believe what I make, we take the course, we didn't use that course, that's why it's not actually app.use.course. we need to use that course, so it's not actually having that credentiality to access the front end. So now if we refresh, as you see, it's already here. Whenever we're accessing the course, we are having that payment. So now the similar way, if we just go back over there and just remove one of the items, just remove that one of the items more. So now as you see, first of all, let's go and sign out. We're gonna create a new, and also in our items we're gonna receive the card. So first of all, let's go to home page, and if everything is right, if we go back to our shopping, let's 1 2 3, and also if we click over here, we can just minus plus, we can add some items. And now if we proceed to checkout, we need to sign in for the checkout, and to sign in with Google. And now as you see, after signing in, we will be available to create our checkout. Let's go to our cart products. So now proceed to checkout 1915.99. Now if we proceed to checkout, I believe it will work. Now 42 Okay, and then 12, 34, 123. So this amount 1915.99, it should be available over here. How much? Yeah, 1915. So if we refresh, I believe we will be available to see, yeah, that amount is already received, and you can see all the information over here from where we received. And also if we go back to our backend, you see we receive every single details, including the ID and everything. Now we can access all the things from there. So feel free to explore a bit more, to design it more and to make it responsive. And don't feel free to go in the Amazon clone which I made, fully responsive. I will put the link in the description or somewhere in the top. So feel free to go and check it out and create that beautiful looking budget website. And also for that Stripe, there is another video is coming, because that Stripe payment, they are making one of the React payment is much more good. So this cool thing is coming in future, is very soon. So feel free to create that beautiful looking website as your own, and see you in the next video.